Hey Dave,
Hey Per Eric, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You back in the land of the internet, are you?
Yeah, after a week and a half. Actually, we got a breakdown again today. It was gone for 2 hours. I thought that, my God, this is starting again, but
Oh,
it's
so
working fine now.
you feel so oh, what's the right word? When you don't have you feel so lost when you don't have internet now,
Yeah,
don't
that's true.
you?
I mean,
Okay.
it feels like your whole life depends on your internet, really.
Anyway,
It's crazy, but it's hard to do online work without internet.
well, it's a bit tricky.
Yeah, it is.
However, you're here now. We've got Abin here as well. Hello, Abin.
Hi, Dave. Hi,
How are
Per.
you?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. Nice speaking to you. Per Eric, we had Abin and I had a conversation during the week. It started off on one phone, one mobile phone to mobile, and
Yeah.
it ended up switching to another mobile to actually have the conversation. It was totally bizarre. Um,
Yeah.
but uh, but Abin, would you like to share with Per Eric basically what you got out of that conversation?
Yeah. So, like I said, I spoke to Dave last week. I told him my story about how I got in and how I met Gary Mountford, and what he gave what when I was speaking to Dave, he told me like just keep just stay focused and keep moving forward in a way, and just don't let distractions get you. Find ways around it.
It was very powerful, actually. Very enlightening conversation for me to be able to help Abin and understand his challenges,
Yeah.
and just really try and guide it forward in a kind of coach mentor role, as well as being an alliance member, alliance friend, Peric. So just
Yeah,
just
but that's really the whole thing about being alliance team like this. It's so great that we to be able to support each other.
yeah. I think
So
the key component of what I actually see is um, taking greatness. I mean, the internet world, the entrepreneur is well known to be chasing of the shiny object syndrome. I have suffered from that for many, many, many years. And something is always greater than the last thing that you just touch. So really, with Gavin's course, or when I came across, I didn't really know what was involved, and really just buckling down and getting into it and sticking to the one thing is very, very important in order that we maximize the opportunity from it.
it is very important, but it's also a very difficult thing sometimes.
For sure. So, Barry, welcome.
Hi guys.
How are you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm tired. I'm really tired today. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning. Had stuff
That,
to do before I left.
that makes two of us, Barry.
Well, I'm just, I've had it today.
Well, welcome.
These late nights.
Well, you're here now. And Cynthia, we
Um,
have Cynthia.
Hi,
Hey, Cynthia, we couldn't hear you properly last week. Everything was going a bit wonky.
I know. And I was in Tunisia as well.
You were in what, sorry?
Tunisia.
Ah, okay. Well, you're here now, and where is it you live, Cynthia?
In the West Midlands,
In
Sutton
the West.
Coldfield.
Okay. No, I live up in Scotland, so but the nice thing is we're connected on the Hangout here, which is so cool. And we got Per Eric. You're based across in
In Sweden.
where about in Sweden again?
In the northern part, actually. Um, uh, let's say if you divide Sweden in two halves, I may be on one third on the northern part of Sweden. So it's really a northern part, and we still expect snow any day. So
Wow.
Sweden is a long country. It's a big difference from the south to the north part. And north part is actually where they have sun 24/7 in the summertime, the midnight sun, and we're not far away from that. So.
I can't bear to think about that. But anyway, right, guys, we're going to crack in here because obviously it's been a. I'm just so glad you're all here. It's terrific, actually. What I would like to do is just to quickly go through and just discover how you're getting on this week. With Barry's not involved with regard to AMA, but Cynthia, you involved in AMA?
I am indeed, yes.
Fantastic. Per Eric, obviously, yeah. Per Eric?
Yeah.
You're involved. You're doing AMA as well, aren't you?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, and Abin as well. So,
Yeah.
Barry, you're the odd one out, but you're allowed to be odd.
I'm always odd anyway.
Cynthia, I'll start with you if that's okay. You were away on holiday, obviously.
Yeah.
How are you with regard to AMA, and how can we help?
I've just started the module 3 this week. At first it was a little bit confusing because there was so many things to watch and so many things to do which I wasn't sure of. I'd not done any online marketing before, so all of this was new to me, and so I had to actually revisit each module each time. So I have to keep revisiting to understand what Gavin's talking about, or some of the things he says to set up. It's not knowing how to set those up. I am learning a bit more now, so things like capture page and all those things, yes, I knew a little bit about them, but I've set one up myself through Lead Pages, but I haven't done very much marketing. And I noticed that there were several people on the affiliate programs, which I wasn't on, and now this week everything seemed to be falling into place.
Good. Good. And is there anything specifically between the four of your colleagues here that you would like assistance with?
I need to start doing the things myself, then to know where the problem, if I've got a problem, because I haven't started to set anything up yet.
Right.
So, as Gavin has invited, on this end of the first part of number 3, step 3, he said to set up your networking superstar. What's the word I'm looking for?
Affiliate?
Yes, I haven't done that yet. That's something I plan to do tomorrow, to work on that, to see where that goes.
Okay.
So I might come back to you guys for some help once I've got through that bit.
Well, listen, just reach out. I mean, we're here to help each other, okay? And what you may perceive to be you may think it's so simple, or you may think it's a challenge. Either way, it doesn't matter. There are people with excellent skills here. Barry's got phenomenal skills on SEO, all sorts of things. So if we pull together, we can help each other. Okay?
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. And basically, we've got Frank. Hello, Frank. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Bob. How are you? It's nice to see you alive. I mean, I only seen pictures, and now it's nice to see all of you. Well, for real, or how do I say that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And where are you based, Frank?
In the Netherlands.
Where in the Netherlands?
In the south, near the Belgium border.
And the name?
Well, Breda, maybe you heard of. It's between Rotterdam and Antwerp.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much. That pinpoints it. And McLeod, you involved in AMA as well?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Barry, you're getting more outnumbered.
I told you I'd done the original thing that this was originally based on, Attraction Marketing University, he calls it. And it may be slightly different, but there's quite a lot of things that are going to be more or less the same. So.
Good. Well, I'm not sure of the exact content of all the modules, but hey, we're working our way through. It's been an incredible value so far. So.
Yeah, I got 12 different modules and bonuses in the university version.
Okay. So, cool. Fantastic.
Yeah. So, and module 3 is turning you into walking profit center. So whether that's the same, I don't know.
Yeah, it's more or less the same.
Yeah. So I know he was going to do that. So because he said he was going to change it into the university to start with, and I think he's just remodeled it and redone it. So that's where it is.
Okay. And Frank, where are you with regard to AMA? How are you getting on?
Well, I've done the first 3. I worked through them, and well, I've been doing internet marketing, especially affiliate marketing, for some time, and so a lot of things I resonate with, or I understand, but the angle he chooses is very interesting. I think so. I am planning to really set up this complete funnel, because now I'm more into affiliate marketing, looking at homesteading, survival niche. That's where I'm a bit involved in, and that's where I also make some money. But internet marketing, I've always tried a bit, done a lot of Facebook advertising and Facebook, targeting certain groups within Facebook. But now I really set to set up a good funnel. That's something I never did, and always just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Maybe you can all understand what I mean with that, and then buy a new product and another one, and in the end do 12 things and only not even one successful. And so now I like the way he sets up the funnel, and I hope I can also not only duplicate it, but in some different way. And I'm just looking for the way to do it.
Good. Well, I think you've raised a very interesting point there, and one of the key components that we've all got wrong, I would say, is we've all done a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of the next thing.
Yeah.
In the short term, thinking it was the right thing, instead of focusing on ourselves, becoming the brand. And the brand of Frank, the brand of Per-Erik, the brand of Cynthia, basically the key component here is to have a 10-year plan to build out that brand. And I basically picked up on what Gavin was talking about, having a hub page of gavinmountford.com, and off that hub come different blogs in different niche sectors in which he's involved. So one of the key areas, and I'll come on to it later, but it's really about strengths and who we are as individuals. We need to know ourselves before we can actually connect with our ideal clients, if that makes sense.
There is one thing that I come across quite a lot when you start talking about the hub and all that sort of stuff. Really, the way this is, the way things are moving, especially with websites and blogs and things. I'm a great believer in the silo method, because Google loves silos, because they interlink, and everything's, and you've got the link structures in the site as well, and it's all completely automatic. It just does itself. When you set it up from the beginning, it's all done and everything is there and it's all in the right structure. You don't really need a hub if you're using that system. What you end up with is one really big site that Google will love, because it is that authority, and you set it up into different sections. So your hub basically is your front page. The rest then links to separate sections of the page, and that's that in my mind. If you're going to start with a brand new site, that is the way to do it, because then you end up with an authority site, and a site that builds with authority. The bigger it gets, with the more relevance to your niche and whatever it is, even if it's just different sections of the niche. So a niche within a niche, if you like, for each section. When you've done that, you're going to end up with one big site about the same thing, and that authority is just going to up and grow. I started one. I made one last year. It's just over 12 months, or just about 12 months old. It has a page authority of 34, and a domain authority of about 27, and that's on Moz. And that is pretty good.
But there is also another view on that issue, because I think what Gavin is trying to accomplish with this layout of the hub and the niche blog is that it will make life easier for our prospects to define immediately what is this guy an expert in. So there's a difference between Google authority, and I agree with Barry. Having a great page with tons of content, it's what Google but in some few comes in and see that you are involved in so many different things. So it may be difficult to find out what kind of expert is this person really.
No, you see, what I mean with that, Eric, basically is if you're into SEO, you can have social, you can have because it's all into. They're all part of the set. They're all part of the skill set, but they're a niche within a niche. So if you're going to have an SEO blog, for instance, you're going to have your social part. You're going to have your linking. You're going to have that, and you do each one as a separate section.
Yeah.
But you are still under that one specific niche. Now, if you look at Ray Higdon's blog, Ray Higdon's blog is basically siloed, but it's all network marketing and internet, and his product, because that is what he does, and that's what he focuses on, and that's what he builds his thing around. But what all I'm saying is, if you have a specific niche, like Frank does his specific thing, you may have different sections within that niche that you know things about, and you know enough about to give people that expertise. But because you may have someone, say someone's going to buy a house, someone may want to buy a flat or an apartment rather than a house. So you have a section, they just know where to look because it's easy to look that way. And that's the way I saw Gavin work this out. It's just he was sending them off to different sections, but they were off to different sites, and they were just a slight extension on what he was already doing, but it was still within the same niche. And to me, the way it works now, it makes more sense to have one authority blog or one authority website, which is split up into those sections, because that's the way that it's developed.
Yeah,
I would agree with Gavin when he said it, but the way it's developed now, I see it as one. I know I've got like 4 different blogs, but they're still set there. My main one isn't, but the ones I'm doing now, they're set up into different things like that, and it's all based around the same niche, but it has little different sections, if you like. The one I've done now talks about MLSP on its own, talks about multiple income streams, and talks about getting leads, and talks about, but they're in different sections, but they're still within the same niche, still within the whole business niche.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you there.
And that's the sort of thing. That's exactly what I mean. It's still within your. It's within your circle of expertise, and as your expertise grows, you can add another little section to it, which is basically what Gavin did. But his hub is, in effect, the website, which then takes you off to his Facebook page. But you still do that anyway. So your blog is your hub, or your Facebook page could be your hub. It's all what you want to do, which sends him off to your blog, whichever way you want to look at it. But that's the way I see the site. If you're going to develop a website, you're better off just doing just one and concentrated specifically on what you're going to do, rather than complicate it and move off to several different ones. Do it all on one. If anybody needs any help with that, I can certainly help with that.
So long as there's congruency in what you're actually offering, because if you offer, 400 different dishes, the Indian, it could be Italian, it could be Chinese, whatever, you're never going to get the people who actually like one specific dish, are you? So
that is my point. You know, if you're going to do if you're going to do a blog on food and restaurants, you could pick a certain area like Indian or whatever. You can pick that, but there's still going to be sections in that of the different type of dish that they make. Yeah, but so you are making, when you get more specific, within the specifics, there's still even more, and that's the point I'm trying to make. So if you want to be a social media expert, make your blog around social media, being a social media expert, and split it up into different sections that you understand and you have expertise in. And as you grow more, you just add more. That's the simplicity of it.
On that basis, Barry, do you have any resources that you could share in our little Facebook group? Just any links or anything that you could put about siloing? Because I'd certainly be interested in learning a bit more.
Yeah, I actually do some. I'm going to start doing some blogs, so that could be an idea. Send me some ideas, and I'll write some, because I need to do some. I'll do that now. Siloing.
Well, test it on us. There you go. You've got
I'll do that.
willing audience.
Yeah.
The beta group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, is that some of you may know William. Do you know William O'Toole?
Yeah.
With William, I just did a theme, and I've actually picked the thing. We're doing something based on reviews, and it was simply going to be reviews, but it's going to be made up of reviews of different. That is going to be in different sections, but it's going to be like a guest blogging system and things like that. But it's going to be it might be about network marketing, but it might be network marketing on the health niche. But it's still going to be, a sort of targeted thing for people working in home business. There's going to be reviews on different types of product for different types of people, and that's how we're going to do it. We're going to sectionalize the blog, but it'll all come in as reviews. So that will be sort of based on a silo. It's the linking structure, and I can certainly go through that.
That'd be terrific if you could do that.
I can probably do some videos on it, which is probably the easiest way to show you.
Even better.
And I do have a Silo plugin that they're not selling anymore, but I've got a copy of the unlicensed version. So if you want one of those, it is a WordPress plugin. You can use it, and it'll actually automatically make the Silo for you. It'll actually pick up articles as well for you if you want it to. So that's the way it sets it up. Then you change the articles anyway. So that's the way I usually do it.
Well, that would be appreciated. So
there's one other little thing you're talking about. I know you may use lead pages. I don't particularly use lead pages. I use something on my own blog, but there's one I come across today which is free that you can play with and get it. And I've just put it in the chat. It's instapage.com if you don't know about it. Instapage you can pay for, which gives you extra things. You can make the whole funnel up with Instapage, but you can integrate it with WordPress as well, so you can actually integrate it inside your WordPress blog as well. So I thought that was quite useful. So that's something that's easy, very, very easy to work with, and that's something that I found out about today, looking at some of those videos. So I knew there was one around, I couldn't think what it was called, and that's what it is.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for that, Barry. And Abin, where are you with regard to your journey in AMA so far?
I've gone through module 3. I'm just trying to we were talking about the hub. It's something I spoke to Gavin about this. I've already got myname.com, but now remember he's mentioned about saying that use that as your homepage and create another domain for as your blog. So now I'm just trying to think about what can I call it. I've already got a domain name of my name already, and now thinking if I don't use that as my blog, what should I use and what should I create my name, create my thing for my blog.
Abin, think about what I just said.
Yeah,
and use it as your blog. There's certain things you can set when you go into your WordPress setups and you go in. You can customize it. You can actually pick, if you make a page as your front page.
Yeah.
Then you can actually then pick a different page, which is going to be your post page. Okay. We'll have a look at this one, and it'll show you. Basically, it's the same thing. There is a blog on this as well, but this is Put it in the chat now. Putyourfamilyfirst.co.uk. That's a PR1 site. It was PR3 at one time, but I actually lost. I didn't do anything with it for so long. But it is a PR1, and that's one I set up as basic. That's the siloed one. But there's a blog on that as well, and you'll see that if you on one of the drop-down menus, you can I think it's under the home menu, homepage menu.
Cool. And in terms of building a brand, it's about. I'm going to read you 4 questions out here because this came out of Russell Brunson's book, .com Secrets. And he said the 4 steps he takes are basically when he's speaking to people, who are your dream clients? That's question number 1. Who are your dream clients? Where can you find them? And then what bait will you use to attract them, and what result do you want to give them? So ultimately it's about the result of the client and what they are actually after. So if you are building a brand, who do you want to be in their eyes, Abin?
Okay.
So I think that's an important question you need to ask yourself. And one of the key elements of and what I wanted to offer to basically people tonight is sometimes we look in a mirror and we don't actually know who we are. And I was having a conversation earlier on today actually with somebody, and it was about they did not value themselves at their true worth. So we've all got strengths and weaknesses. We talked about passions last week. But if you can merge the passion with your strengths and weaknesses and then find a profitable marketplace, you can then brand yourself based on your passions and your strengths. So has anyone ever come across the Gallup Strengths Finder?
The what?
No.
Gallup Strengths Finder.
No.
No.
Basically, if you go to gallupstrengthsfinder.com, there's you can do a test for $9 or $9.99, I think it is. I don't even have one here, but basically, what you do is over 20 minutes. I'm working with helping a roofing company up here in Scotland to grow. Plenty of rain up here, so it's a good market to be in. But basically, the key personnel, I put them through the Strengths Finder, and Gallup interviewed 2.5 million people, and they found what they call 34 different talents. And in the 2.5 million people were senior managers or directors or high-profile people in companies, and they discovered 34 talents. And when we're basically in our zone, for example, Barry loves SEO. He's just probably passionate and will get lost for hours in that. I like looking into individuals and helping them grow. I'll get lost for hours in helping them do that. But what actually happened, I'll give you an example. One of the commercial director in this company was trying to do so many things. He was hating doing some things, and he loved doing other things. He did this test over 20 minutes. His number one of the 5 that came out is called an achiever. And then there were 4 other talents. But his weaknesses we are able to delegate to somebody else who has those weaknesses as their strengths, not all of them. So we were delegating. So he's now operating in his zone in terms of optimizing his level of performance. So the company's getting 10-15% extra out of him every single day. And now we're doing that with all the key leaders. But what I'll do with you guys is, if you are willing to basically do this quick 20-minute test, I'll do an analysis and then I'll just get on the phone for half an hour with you and I'll talk you through it. Because if we can help you find your strengths and you know what those strengths are, it means that you will then be able to be a guide in that specific area. Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Cool.
What was the link? Have you got the link for that? Can you put the link in the chat?
Hang on a
Is it Gallup?
Gallup Strength Center with an ER, I think.
Is it Gallup, like the Gallup polls?
Yeah. GALLUP Strengths Center, CENTR.com. and then you choose the. In fact, what I'll do is I will put it in our little Facebook group after this Hangout's finished, and then what we'll make sure is we actually get the information to you. Take 20 minutes, go through it. My number one strength is called it's called a maximizer, taking something good and making it brilliant. And when I first looked at it, I went, no, that's definitely not me. But over a couple of weeks of reflection, I suddenly looked back in my past history and I recognized it absolutely was me. My number 2 is positivity. My number 3 basically is called individualization. It's about looking at somebody's as an individual or a business as an individual and finding out what makes them tick and what makes them work. Futuristic is number 4. It's looking into the future and really predicting of where things are going. And woo is number 5, winning others over. So I came to understand a bit more about myself, and it's helped me in business enormously. Helped me when I'm meeting other people as well. So
I'll do it. Okay, thanks.
That is my gift to you, and all you got to do is do it, and then come back to me, and we can spend half an hour or so on Skype or wherever. And it would be my pleasure and my gift in helping you guys move forward as well.
Yeah, understood.
That's cool.
Great.
Game on. So
I put the link in the chat, guys, from the page.
thank you. Appreciate it. You're an awesome guy. Love it. So in terms of where we're at, Per Eric, what have you been up to this last week now that you've been back on the internet?
Actually, I managed to take me through the 3rd module and also started with the 4th module today. And if I very quickly go back to the discussion with Barry here, the first part of the 4th module is better explanation of these sub-niches that Gavin does, and it explains a bit more. So what I have done after taking the 3rd module is that I started thinking about my digging down in my niche, because my original blog is full of different areas. So I realized after talking to Gavin that I had to move in a bit sharper, and I also put up my new blog based on that. So my new blog is now called Get Social with Eric, and of course my hub is perericolson.com. So I already had that since 5 years ago. So I'm working ahead on module 4 right now.
Fantastic. Are you enjoying module 4?
Absolutely.
Good. Fabulous. Excellent. Well, I'll be playing catch up with you shortly. And is there any other information you might like to share with us?
I'm doing what I can to be a part of sharing content together with Barry and some other people from Networking Superstars. That is a really great way to keep your fan page alive. So whenever you have time, I think that is a great idea. I'm sure Barry agrees with me there.
Yeah. Well, one thing I did say, if you have something you want to share, and you want to put a link onto like Put Your Family First, because that, as like I said, it's a PR1 domain. Not every page has got the page rank, but the domain is PR1, and the domain authority is about 30, I think. So that's pretty good considering that's actually gone up about, the domain has gone up 10, and I've done nothing with it, even for, so I mean, I'm just looking for people who want to put some content. You can post some links to your blog and just make it relevant to whatever. It's the home business. It's basically doing what we do in Networking Superstars, but also if you've got anything that's going to be specific, I can put it into relevant categories, as long as it's about home business or working with your home business, it'll be fine, because that's where it got its PR3 from.
Okay, great.
So if you want to set out a couple of blog posts for yourself, even to get used to doing it. I mean, Cynthia, if you want to write something and you want to tread the water, I mean, send me the stuff through, and if it's good and I can do it, I'll post it on there for you and send you some links to something for you, whatever you want to do. So anything to help anybody anywhere.
Thank you.
We can do. All right.
Thank you very much.
Barry, just a question.
Yeah.
Are you a full-time marketer?
Well, I was an electrician, but then I got fed up of that. I didn't want to do it anymore. I've done it for over 30 years, but so I started to get into a bit of SEO. But I tried to be full-time, but at the moment, most of my time is spent looking after my parents. They're in their 80s. My dad's not well. I was going to do work this morning, but I had to go with him to the hospital because he had an appointment. He wasn't feeling very well, so I went with him to sort of give him a bit of support and help him along. So I'm sort of in between. I want to be full-time, but I'm sort of between part and full-time at the moment. I'm really trying to get things to start working. I got involved with somebody a couple of years ago and something completely different, and the guy just basically milked everything completely out, and I didn't know about some of it, but he was doing something that I could have got into serious trouble about, but I had to go bankrupt because of it. It was just so much. So I've had a bit of a struggle since then, but I don't want to call it a struggle. It's been a learning curve, but a learning curve it was a very negative one at the time, but now I just want to think of things differently, and it's getting myself back on and not being able to have credit and things like that. Makes it more difficult in some ways, but it's just a question of getting things forward, start to earn some money that's going to be consistent rather than little bits and pieces is what I get at the moment. So.
Well, what I see is that you're very consistent in your posting.
Yeah, it has moved on quite a lot from doing that, and I noticed quite a lot of difference. So. Unfortunately, since he stopped the fan page challenge on Networking Superstars, the engagement's gone down a little bit. Fortunately, it's not gone down too much, but but it has gone down. So, but we are trying to address that in other ways. So, but there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
I do have I actually going to be, when I get a chance to finish it, a course on local SEO that I'm going to probably be putting. What's it called? Udemy.com. Put it on that. I think that's what it's called. And I can put that on there. And sort of, that's one way of sort of starting to get some income without. To just make it up, put it on Udemy. They do all the marketing, they get all the traffic. You can sell it, but you only, instead of getting like, if I'd sold it on my own blog or something like that, I get 100%. You get like 50% of it because they do all the traffic and they do everything else, and they have a little bit of a commission for themselves as well, which is fair enough. So that's worth looking at from my point of view, because try, if you can sell 10 products. And I only end up like with $50 for it. If it was a $100 product and I had $50 and they sold 10 of them, I got 500. So that makes a big difference. And that's a kickstart. So something I've got to get finished. So I'll be planning on that. So if it's useful to any of you, I'll give you a copy.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then if you've got if you've got a market for it, then we can maybe come to an arrangement for if we sell it, then you can have some commission for that. Whatever we go, work that out as we move along.